Right, so we'll just wait for a couple of more minutes and then we'll start. Okay, I think we can start now. So yeah. All right, so hello everyone. My name is Abhijit and thank you for joining today's webinar. I'm excited to talk to you about how OpenLM can help the oil and gas industry gain better control over expensive engineering and simulation software licenses. Over the next 30 minutes, we'll explore common software challenges in upstream, midstream, and downstream operations of oil and gas industry, and how OpenLM provides an efficient, centralized, and cost-saving solution. So let's dive in. So let's see what are those three segments of oil and gas operations. The oil and gas industry operates through three major segments: upstream, midstream, and downstream. Upstream focuses on exploration and production. Here, geological models, reservoir simulations, and drilling softwares are crucial. And we'll look into each of these segments from software's perspective. Now, talking about the midstream, it involves transportation and storage. The software for pipeline management, logistics, and storage optimization plays a key role. And the third one, which is downstream, here it covers refining and retail. So software in this area helps simulate refinery processes and manage supply chains. Now, each segment uses highly specialized software, often from different vendors and with varying license model. And over the next few slides, we'll see what are those various licensing model and the vendors. Let's look at the type of software use or the software landscape across these segments. Now, in upstream, software like Schlumberger, Spectral, or Olga helps simulate subsurface reservoirs. In midstream, it's more about the Aviva's pipeline simulation and storage systems, which keeps operations running smoothly. And in the downstream, AspenTech and other vendors provide tools to optimize refinery processes. Now, these tools are essential, but it comes with high costs and complex licensing model. So geological and reservoir simulation tools, pipeline and logistics management systems, refinery process and supply chain softwares. These are the different categories of applications or softwares which are used across the different segments in the upstream, midstream, and downstream. Talking about the leading vendors here, Aviva, Dassault Systems, AspenTech, even PTC, ANSYS, Siemens, Schlumberger, these all are the leading vendors, and there are many more like them, which provide the tools and the solutions for managing these operations in different segments. Now let's look into the challenges which are related to license management in each of these different segments or broadly across the oil and gas industry. So the first challenge here is the complexity. Now each software vendor uses different licensing mechanism. It could be named user or floating licenses. It could be the named user, or it could be floating licenses, or it could be SaaS applications, dongles. Now, managing all of these is a nightmare without a proper system. Now, the second is the high cost. A single license of Aspen Hyces or Petrel can cost, thousands of dollars. Now, multiply this across the teams and locations, it adds up. Another major challenge here is limited access to licenses or limited availability. Now, this can delay the projects as engineers wait for a license. Geographical restrictions, geographic licensing limits, cross-border operations. Then we have the issue of usage tracking. It's hard to tell who used what software for which project, for how long, which department used it. Now, lastly, audits, vendors like ANSYS, Schlumberger, Dassault can audit uh, your license usage at any time. Without clear data, penalties are a real risk. So in order to be, ready for all these kind of audits or getting more visibility, it is very important to have a solution in place to monitor the licenses to manage these costly softwares. Now, the need for centralized license management. Oil and gas companies operate globally across time zones. A centralized license management platform provides a complete unified view. We just discussed about the variety of applications which are used, different type of vendors, then different type of licensing models which are used across all these different segments in the oil and gas industry. So it is very important and it is necessary to have a centralized license management platform that provides a complete and unified view. For example, if licenses are underutilized in Houston office, they could be freed up for use in another location, right? Especially in case of global licenses. Now, this level of visibility lets the IT departments to make smarter procurement decisions. Buy only what's needed. Also, identifying idle or underutilized licenses help reduce waste and manage budget more effectively. So the need for centralized license management, it comes from the need for visibility across all departments, tracking usage across time zones and geographies, uh, optimize license allocations, and identify the underutilized licenses for optimization purposes. Let's talk about a solution that is actually required in the oil and gas industry to overcome all of these, critical challenges that the IT departments and the organization faces. OpenLM. OpenLM is a powerful software license management solution. It is designed for engineering intensive industry like oil and gas. It supports all major license types and integrates with solutions from ANSYS, Dassault Systems, Autodesk, Aspen Tech, Aviva, and more. So whether you have 50 users or 5,000, OpenLM scales to fit. It supports 90 plus various type of license managers if you're using network licenses. Many energy and natural resource companies already use OpenLM to streamline their license usage and save money. So whether you're using network licenses, cloud, dongle, or named licenses, if you're having hundreds of engineering or scientific software, if you are having the global teams, or even if you're operating from a single office, uh, OpenLM is a solution that helps you to manage your costly software licenses, manage them effectively, and optimize them. And already it is being used by the leading energy companies. So we'll also go to I'll show you the live interface of OpenLM, like how the reports look like, what are the features of OpenLM that we are talking about here, how they actually look like in the real interface. Now, key features of OpenLM for oil and gas. Let's break these down. Number one is license tracking. So you see who's using which license, when, for how long, across the globe. Then second comes the idle session detection and harvesting. So if a license is unused for a period, let's say 30 minutes, somebody, a user might have opened an application and he might be busy into some other work or using some different application or doing some other work. In such cases, the original application which the user had opened on the workstation, which is actually, occupying one seat of license, that application is idle, the license is unused. So OpenLM can automatically detect such idle sessions and it can automatically release it or it can harvest it, thus making it available for others. This way, it not only helps you to optimize the license of your current inventory, also it helps you to increase the availability of the licenses. So the other users who are waiting to get a license can, get a license and they can start their work. So they don't have to wait for the license to get free. Project level tracking or group level tracking. So if engineers work on multiple projects, you can allocate license usage accordingly. This is crucial for internal cost recovery as well. So, typically oil and gas companies, they have got multiple various projects on which users work. They've got various departments, various business units. So it is very important from management perspective to check what is the usage of these licenses by the end users, by different projects, by different departments, because that helps them to understand their current usage and forecast uh, for the next financial year or for the next IT budget preparation. So that's why this project level and group level monitoring is very featured, and this is one of the key features of OpenLM. Real-time dashboards. Uh, OpenLM gives shows the license availability and bottlenecks instantly. You also get access to custom reports. It has the ability there where it can integrate with BI solutions and give you the detailed customized reports as per the KPIs of the organization or whatever is the requirement. From license management perspective, you can create your own reports based on your organization's requirement from software asset management and license management perspectives. So custom reports help with audits or both presentations as well. Integrations with existing IT systems, which means that it plugs into LDAP, uh, various software asset management solutions like ServiceNow seamlessly. So you don't have to change your workflow. It can integrate easily. It can give you more detailed reports and software asset management information as well through the integration. So let me first quickly show you the interface of OpenLM and the type of information that we get for our license usage. So give me a second. In the meantime, if you have any questions, please feel free to put into the chat, or you can even write it to us as well. But we have the chat option available. You can uh, enter your questions in the chat option, and we'll be happy to answer them. Okay, so now let me show you the type of reports that typically which is used by the oil and gas industry for their license usage and more visibility into the license usage across the departments. So first, it gives you the real-time usage data. You can actually view who is using what, which licenses are in use that we can typically see in this unified platform. So for example, here we have got an application where we see 37 out of 37 licenses are in use. So basically, if I click over here, we can get the details of all these 37 active sessions. So we can see here, these are the usernames, the feature that it uses, the product family these features belong to, the project information as well we can track, and the group info. So which department the user belongs to, which uh, business unit the user is part of, we can track that. And that will help us to get an idea about the usage by each of the department and the groups. We get more details about each section of the user. So this is the real-time usage info that we are getting. Similarly, we have got reports that can help us to check the license usage trend across a period of time. All right. So here, for example, I have the study application from Dassault system. This is widely used across the oil and gas industries. So you see, we have got this report for October month, and this is the total number of licenses on the server we had during this time. And this is the pattern of the licenses used. So here we can see that we have got a good usage. However, we still have some scope where we can accommodate some new uh, license request or business requirement from the projects for CATIA licenses. So this way we can track the license usage pattern. We can see that usage in the heat map as well, because when you have offices working, offices in different part of the globe, or users who are working in shift, the heat map information is also very important, because that helps us to correctly check which part of the day or in which shift we have a high usage, and in which shifts licenses are getting underutilized. So this information can help the management to take some decisions, how to manage the users shift, or maybe shift some of the project work to a different office or time zone. So we can make a lot of different decisions based on these reports or these information from the data. All these information, all these reports in OpenLM, we can download, we can schedule them for periodic, reports. Now, for network licenses, we also have the denial information available. So when we are using, costly applications, it is very important to check whether licenses are being optimally used, and also it is important to check whether users are getting the licenses when they need. Because if users are getting denials, which means their work is getting hampered and the project timelines may suffer. So in that case, it becomes important for the IT department to find out if we have the licenses which are in the inventory being all utilized. At the same time, if all the users are getting the licenses and not getting the denials. So this denial report helps us to get that information, to analyze that denial. uh, we have this information available where we can see which are those features where we have a denial. This can probably, mean that we need more investigation into these features usage, and probably it might require an additional procurement to ensure that business is not affected and users are getting the licenses when they need. So this is also important for the availability of the licenses. So similarly, there are various different type of reports like project usage, group usage, license activity report that can help us to, identify the top features which are in use, the top users who access these licenses and all. Uh, Now we have some reports which can help us to optimize these licenses. So one of the important report here is licenses not in use, which help us to identify the unused features of application, because each of these features, each of these licenses are very costly. So the organization must ensure that the licenses that they have purchased are in use or should have been used by the end users. Now, what if you identify that there are 10 features out of which one or two of them had zero usage, they were never used. So that could typically mean that there is a scope for optimization, but probably we can remove those, or we can stop the subscription of those features, in the future, and save the cost. So of course, a due diligence can be done with the end users or with the project teams, but that enables the IT department to be ready with the data that they can present to the management for the optimization purposes. So here, if you see, this is the report that I have for CATIA application, where we can identify that in a specific time range in the last 90 days, these features of CATIA had zero usage. So we can also get the quantity. And if you just multiply it with the cost of these licenses, it will add up to a huge cost saving, right? So this is a very important report. Similarly, we have some report that can help us to do predictive analysis as well. Like for example, license utilization report. Now here, let me show you something that can, probably help the organization to reduce the cost. So if you see, this is the report that I have for CATIA HD2 licenses that I selected from these filters. And based on the historical usage, what OpenLM, this graph tells me that out of 146 network licenses that I have on the server, we can manage the operations with only about 125 or 26 licenses, out of 146. So this can lead to a huge cost saving. Now, this is the quality of service parameter that I've selected as 98, which means uh, out of 100 instances, 100 times a user try to check out an HT2 licenses criteria from the server, 98 times a user would be successful, 2 times the user may get a denial. So with this level of license usage efficiency, we can predict that, okay, we can save a lot of cost on the HT2 licenses. So similarly, this report can be used for to check if we can accommodate additional requests from the business. For example, let's say I'm a part of the software asset management team, and I get a request from the project operations that we need. There is a new project which is coming up, and we need 5 licenses for them. So in that case, we can easily check this report and find out that, okay, we have a good amount of licenses that can be a good number of licenses that can be used for this new requirement. And we, as per the new requirement, we need only 5, whereas we can you know add another at least 10 licenses. We can, or a request for 10 licenses we can fulfill with this existing inventory. So this is the way how OpenLM can help you with. Apart from these reports, there are various functionalities like alerts. You can set up various alerts for various conditions like license expiry, feature usage, percentage. If certain applications usage exceeds 90 or 95%, you can set up an email alert. Immediately, an email alert would be triggered once the condition has reached. Similarly, we can set up, various roles within the interface of OpenLM. So if somebody from the operations or somebody from the, let's say, management requires reporting access to the OpenLM reports or OpenLM interface, we can set up an appropriate role for them, provide the permission, and they can access the reports anytime they need. Okay. Now let me get back to the presentation. One second. So there have been a lot of instances where our customers have been able to from save a lot of cost, especially from the oil and gas industry. We have got a number of customers who have been using OpenLM, and uh, over the years we have it has proven that customers have been able to achieve a lot of cost savings with OpenLM. Just to give you an example, one of our clients, a large global oil firm, had licenses from Dassault Systems, Aspen, and Aviva. Many engineers were unintentionally keeping the licenses open, even when idle. So after deploying OpenLM, they reduced the procurement by 30% because they had better reuse and visibility of their license usage. License availability improved by 60%, allowing teams to work without delays. Also, project-wise usage reports help them to track cost per department, enabling better budgeting and internal chargeback. So they were fully prepared when vendor initiated an audit. So no panic, just clear data. Uh, why OpenLM is a game changer for oil and gas? Now, OpenLM transforms how oil and gas firms manage their software assets. So whether you're dealing with complex multi-vendor setups or trying to optimize license allocation globally, OpenLM provides the clarity and control that you need. The result, better cost management, improved project delivery, and full compliance. So OpenLM is a complete solution for oil and gas industry. So if you want to track the real-time usage, you want to manage all these type of different licensing models from various vendors, like PTC, MathWorks, Siemens, Dassault Systems, Autodesk, Schlumberger, Aviva. OpenLM is the answer. Thank you for your time today. We'd love to hear your thoughts or answer any questions you might have. Uh, Feel free to type in the chat or reach out after the session. We are here to help you get started on your license optimization journey. So let me take the questions over here. One second. Okay, so we have a question. Can we track Dassault Systems CATIA HT2 licenses which are hosted across multiple servers within the network of the organization? Yes. So yes, definitely you can manage, you can track all the licenses, all the CATIA application licenses that you have. So whether you have HD2 or you have any other module from Dassault systems which are hosted on different servers, you can definitely track it with OpenLM. Not only you can track, but you can get insights of the usage. You can even optimize those licenses. Okay. Can we, okay, another question is it possible to download these reports from the OpenLM interface? Yes, so all the reports that we have in OpenLM, you can download them. You can even schedule them. So let's say you have some reports that you generate periodically. Let's say you have some reports you're generating weekly or monthly. So you can schedule these reports in OpenLM interface and it will be automatically generated, shared with the stakeholders or whichever email address that you configure it to the system. Okay. All right. So I think these are the questions right now that I have. For all of them, I hope I have answered. Apart from these questions, if you have any, please feel free to uh, reach out to us and ask your questions. Uh, Also, before we end up the session, we have a webinar on 25th of June, where one of our senior solutions engineer, Dominic, will explain how OpenLM can help you to manage alerts within the OpenLM solution. So as I mentioned earlier, that OpenLM has this key functionality of alerts management. So there you can set up alerts for various conditions. So in this upcoming webinar on 25th, we'll be explaining how these alerts work, what are the different alerts that are available in OpenLM and how it works, how we can use them to simplify the work, simplify the operations in software license management. So I hope this was an insightful webinar session for all of you. We hope to see you soon again. Thank you for joining. Thanks.